let me introduce our awesome presenter today, Marilyn Carver from Lake County, telling us about team teaching training, CLC's newest approach. So I'm going to be quiet and let Mary take it.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I appreciate it. And thank you all for being here at the end of a long day. It's hard to sit through one more session, but I'm hoping that the information will be worthwhile for you. So I'm Marilyn Carver. I am the ABE ASE full-time faculty and reading faculty at CLC, and I'm also the department chair for several of the departments in ABE ASE, Spanish GED, Bridge, and IET. So all that means is that I get to do a lot of extra work, but I get a lot of really fun opportunities to do professional development for adjuncts and for our CTE and adult ed teachers who want to teach in our Icaps program. So I always feel like context is very important. So I just wanted to give you a little short bit of background information on CLC's Icaps program. We have Icaps so far in 10 different subjects. We may have, some of them may have 6 to 9 courses per certificate. So that's a lot of teaching teams. And we wanted to be sure that everyone is trained well and understands what the expectations are and what the some of the hints of working with our specific students are and what the program looks like. And so we have had really good luck finding wonderful teachers from the CTE side of the college. And our teachers, of course, are awesome because all adult ed teachers are amazing. So we have what we call a step-up program for our students. So they enroll in their bridge courses first. We have developed some pre-bridges in case they can't go right into a bridge. And then they can go into Icaps and earn their career certificates. And then, of course, we have the follow-up services with getting a job and doing a resume and those kinds of things. So I'm sure many of your programs are set up the same way, but just so that you kind of have some information on how we work things, I wanted to let you know. This is what we used to do for team teaching training. We offered it in person, and then of course we had to switch over to Zoom virtual, but we ended up offering it several times a semester for groups of CTE and adult ed teachers. If they were new and hadn't gone through the first one that we offered prior to the beginning of the semester, we would just do kind of individual ones. But it started to get really labor intensive. We might be doing 5 or 6 trainings for just 1 or 2 people every year. And our instructional support manager finally said, I can't keep training people. It's so many times. It's getting really cumbersome and I really don't have time, because as with every program, our staff is already stretched to the max. So we also had a really hard time coordinating to get teachers together, but we feel that team teaching training is one of the most important pieces to successful ICAP courses. So this is what we do now. We created a training in Canvas that allows all the new teachers to take the training prior to their classes starting. And it's not mandatory, it is requested. However, we strongly encourage all teachers to take it just so they know what's going on. Since the college class schedule is usually done 6 months or more in advance, and assignments are 6 to 8 months, we generally know who the assigned instructors will be. So we try to make sure that they understand how important this training is. And they only have to take it one time. They don't have to take it every semester that they teach an ICAPS program. And so the adult ed teachers can take it and earn 3 hours of Iccb professional development. And then the CTE teachers get a certificate of completion sent to their division. And when they're assigning ICAPS classes, they can see who's actually been through the training already or invite new teachers to go. So that's been that's been pretty successful. But one of the things we had to think about was how are we going to approach a Canvas training? And we realized that if we put it in Canvas, it would allow for self-directed, convenient training. They could do it in their bunny slippers at 1 a.m. at home if they wanted to, or they could do it in the office. It didn't require the kind of coordination and staff time. And also, it gave everyone an opportunity to get the same information, and we didn't leave anything out. Sometimes when we did the live trainings, we had maybe a piece of information that got left out because we had more questions than we expected. And then down the road, we found out, oh, this person never knew that this was part of what we expect from them. So this way we have tried to lay out all of our expectations for each module. Covers a different topic, and I'll show it to you in a minute. And some of the things we considered was we didn't want somebody to sign up for the course and then just jump to the last module and fill out the form for getting a certificate and not have gone through the whole course. So we learned that you can lock the modules so that you can't just skip to the last one. And they also have a quiz at the end of each module to ensure that they went through the content. And the quiz questions are not difficult. If anything, they're almost like for the Icaps question, there are several different definitions of what Icaps stands for. And if they went through the module, they'll know what it stood for. And if they didn't, they might pick one of the other ones. And then we would get an idea of whether they actually went through the module or not. So once they finish that, they're allowed to go on to the next module, go through the material, take another quiz, and go through. So that was very successful, actually. Oops, what happened? Sorry about that. There we go. So then we thought, who's going to keep track of it? Who's going to send out the professional development certificates? Who's going to modify it and update it? Because obviously, especially in adult ed, nothing is ever the same for very long. And so we wanted to consider who was going to be taking care of those things so that it doesn't just fall by the wayside and become a dinosaur. So I'll talk about who those decisions were given to in a minute. Some of the module content ideas, we wanted to use the same kind of instructional design for this that we use for our Zoom classes and our online GED classes that are that use universal design principles, and also consider what's already been covered. Try not to duplicate too much within modules, and what are we going to have to do to change it? So those were things that we considered before we even started the design and the creation of them. Then we thought about what did we want to put in the modules. We wanted some video clips. We had guest speakers like Sarah came and did a wonderful video for us, and I'm happy to share that with people who want it. And also our adult ed team, our student success team did a video. We had a couple of Icaps teachers do a video that was an interview where they kind of answered the same questions, which our beta testers all mentioned that they thought that was one of the best parts because they really were very thorough in their answers. We also have PowerPoints and some documents in PDFs loaded up in there. And so we tried to make it variable and interesting and not just something else that was another obligation to finish. So it takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to get through all the modules. I had one person who took it this summer that it took 47 hours, and I think she just forgot to turn it off and left her computer and came back a couple days later or something. And that's the only thing I can figure out because it shouldn't take 47 hours. We asked that they have it completed prior to the beginning of the semester. And when they have not completed it, even though it's not mandated, we still try to follow up with our student success coordinators who work with them to remind them that that it's available and that they can finish it, make sure they understand how to sign up and how to take it. If the student success coordinators can't encourage them to take it, then we talk to their department chairs. And if that doesn't work, our dean will contact their dean with the intention of, we want the college to support Icaps, and the best way that you can support Icaps is by having your teachers be part of the process. So that's worked well. I don't think we have had any teachers who have not taken it with a reminder or two. But so far, all of the people who teach for us who were not previously trained, so all of our new teachers have all taken it. Plus, we had a group of several of the adult ed instructors who have already gone through the previous training, do it just to make sure that it was the information was correct, see if there were any holes or if it was missing anything. And their reports so far have been good. Our intent is to update yearly and to have it live with our student success team. More because we don't want it to be something that people can't access if those of us who did the actual work on it can't update it for some reason. So then one of the things that we thought about as well was, how do we inspire teachers to work together? Because Icaps is a very different model. Team teaching is a very different model than CTE teachers are used to. And we had a couple of programs that were really concerned with, were our teachers, our adult ed support teachers, going to teach content? Because that would be really bad, especially if you're talking about like a CNA program or a phlebotomy program where they have a very strict and laid out curriculum and rules for who teaches what. And we have to make sure that they understand that that's not our role to teach content. So we do a little bit of professional development for the department chairs and the department and the program heads as well. So we try to introduce our teams via Zoom when possible, since we can't do it in person anymore. And we definitely email them prior to the beginning of the semester. So our student success coordinators, we have 5 of them, plus the student success manager. They are the ones, they're each assigned to be basically a liaison between the department chairs and in the CTE programs, the teachers on CTE and adult ed, and the students who are signed up for the certificates. And so if possible, they're the ones who coordinate the teachers meeting, and it's maybe a 10-minute Zoom just so that they see each other face to face, because some of our classes, they won't meet them until midweek of the second or third week of the semester of the class beginning. So we want to make sure that they know who each other are. And so our student success coordinators are crucial to helping that happen. And we try to keep the same support teachers and CTE teachers together throughout the course of a certificate program. And the reason we do that is it's great for the students to have that cohort feel. And it's also easier for the teachers, once they get to know each other, to work together and kind of learn what they can expect from each other. Of course, it does not always work out that way, but most of the time that's our aim, that's our goal. So what does it look like? I'm hoping that you're curious enough now that you want to see what this thing is. But before I open it up, I want to show you, I want to give a huge note of thanks to the CLC tech team, which they're called Teletsi, and I don't even Teaching and Learning Educational Technology Center, I think. And they helped us set up the quizzes, the modules, the videos. We had many individual appointments, and they helped us with video editing, and they helped us with setting things up, and they were wonderful. This would not have been able to be finished this summer if they hadn't been available. So I just want to shout out to them. So if you'd like to know what it looks like, let me show you. So this is the developer side of the course. Okay, so I'm in modules right now. And so we have a welcome and introduction module. We have a pre-work module, which is kind of an introduction to what Icaps is and what CLC Icaps is, and a little intro to team teaching. We have a module on the expectations of the soft skills in Icaps, because some of the things that we were getting complaints about were that the communication needed to be improved. And so we decided to call that soft skills. And there's some student success information in there as well. And then Icaps teacher requirements. And the last one is team teaching, meaning and methodologies. And so those were all of them that we had. And I don't know if you noticed, we have a quiz at the end of each module. So this is the developer side. So I want to show it to you in the student view. And you'll notice that when the students have it, they can see the first module, but they have to complete one item before they can go to the next module. And everything is grayed out and they can't click on it and they can't bring it up until they've finished the quiz. And so that was one of the ways, because we want the training to be complete and thorough, and we want them to have all the information. So that was our thinking behind the design of this. So I would open it up to questions. Are there any particular modules or things that you want to see? I would, and I don't have the chat open. So Sarah, if you wouldn't mind, if there's anything in the chat.
Yes, there's not anything yet, but feel free to put in some questions for Mary Lynn, or you also can yourself.
And I also, so I'll show you a couple of the things that are in there while you're pondering. And we took a lot of the ICSPS team teaching videos and put pieces of that in there. So they didn't have to go through all the videos there, but the ones that we felt were important for this training. And if they want to do more, they're welcome to do that. And so we have an overview. We had an information about Icaps at CLC. We have a lot of, and I'd actually like to show you this one, because these are many of our students and I think a couple of our teachers as well. So as usual, I have to make sure that I'm sharing the sound because I always forget to do that. All right. I love to let our students speak for themselves. We may not do all 5 minutes.
Thank you for having me.
Icaps just a different experience. It's more of a career-focused experience.
It's the opportunity for adult education students to embark on a certificate program so that they can actually complete it within 1 year.
We take people or students that come with adult ed. Sometimes they have their GED, sometimes they don't have their GED. Sometimes there are students from other countries with other degrees. There are people from all kind of walks of life.
Some of the students who come in are either ESL or GED, or maybe just they're brand new here and they're looking to build their skills in the workforce.
I think the exposure to what could be is huge. When you're not sure, or when you don't know what questions to ask, it becomes difficult. But once someone exposes you to the opportunities and expose you to what could be, that's a whole other road, another path that they're taking.
The way I came into the Icaps program and into automotive technology was because of Yesenia Mata. She would talk to me and tell me about these programs and the help from Icaps.
If they have like financial aid problems, if they have any issues, let's say for navigating the college, like how do I get my book or where do I buy this? A lot of things that a student needs to get successful in their college, life, the student success coordinator is there for them.
In the Icaps program, teachers are very supportive. When you have questions, they're there for you. They're immediately, trying to help you out. If they can't find the answer themselves, they go ask around. But most of the times, they always have an answer for you.
Students receive a tremendous amount of support. They receive support before they even come into the program to help them identify where their interests might be. And once they have made the commitment to join the program and have gone through the vetting process, they work with a student success coordinator. And he or she is responsible for those things that are outside the classroom. It could be some career advice. It could be, I'm just having a rough time. What other supports can I get here at CLC?
Whether they feel that, college is this unimaginable obstacle, the Icaps program is really comprehensive and provides a lot of support for them to guide them step by step and help them be successful in their program and beyond.
And I think that's what makes our program unique, because of course we're interested in getting them the technical knowledge that they need to be successful in the career that they want to transition to, or perhaps that they're already in, but we try to take care of them as a whole person.
I feel it's unique because they take care more about you as a person. I finished my education in Mexico and also took some regular classes here, and I had the chance to compare how the teachers treat you as a regular student against Icaps or Bridge program and or adult education program, and it's completely different. They care about you. They know you're working. They know probably you have kids or family to support or take care of it after the class or before the class, and they care about your needs, your insight, your feelings, and the regular classes, that doesn't happen.
We definitely make sure they get jobs, so they're not just doing the Icaps program and they're stuck after that. So most of our students have very good success stories.
My daughter and I, when we went to the libraries and we try to invite the student, when they complete the high school, they feel like they are done. And I try to combine to come to CLC, that they don't have an opportunity to go to university or whatever. Here is the good beginning to reach their dreams.
They have to trust themselves that they can do it. If they don't have that, well, then there's us who can actually continually push them. So they should not be afraid.
You don't have to know everything. You just have to want to get ahead in life, do something for yourself, for your family. This program is really meant to provide adults with opportunities, and that's really something that we try and practice every day within our program.
Just keep on moving forward and don't get overwhelmed by where you have to get to. Just be where you are now and make sure that you advocate for yourself and ask for help when you need it, because we want to help you be successful and we want to know what you need.
Try it, do it. It could be free. It helps you to improve yourself as a person and also improve your skills, improve yourself. And whatever you're doing is worth it. It's really worth it.
Don't delay your future. Don't delay a good job that you can have because you're stuck on what you think you can't do. Just so you have support, you have a group of people who won't let you fail, and you can do this, and we're here to help.
So thank you for letting me share that. It's one of the more powerful videos that our team created to help the CTE teachers understand what they are committing to, because it is a bigger commitment than just teaching a regular class. There's the component of working together. There's the component of checking in with each other each week and making sure that the teacher has access to any electronic resources, that they are a co-teacher on Canvas, and that they can help the students in ways that maybe the CTE teacher hadn't realized or thought of before. This is the Iccb Introduction to Icaps, and this is the one that Sarah did for us. And so it's pretty long. It's about 20 minutes, but it's really interesting. Oops, I'm going to play just a little bit of that so we can.
Hi, and welcome to Team Teaching, a partnership to benefit students, teachers, educational programs, and our community.
And so she went on and really explained the ICCB approach to Icaps, and it's really comprehensive, and we were very happy with how that came out. So anybody who wants to have access to that, it's not specific to CLC, it's specific to Illinois. And so you're welcome to just take bits and pieces of it if you want. And my email is on the last slide, which I will show you in a minute. Where are we going here? It doesn't want to leave, Sarah. Okay. And then the quiz I can show you for the first one. It only has 2 questions, and it only has, I think they're both multiple choice. So for example, what does Icaps stand for? Well, if they don't have any idea by the time they get to the end of the materials that are in that module, inclusive class and always prepared students might sound like a good choice, but it's not the right choice. So then adult ed has been offering supported classes for students for over 15 years. That was in the video with our student success team. So they should be able to answer that. So I'm going to leave the student view. So once they finish that first quiz, then it will open up the second module for them. And they can, there's a couple of ICCB videos. There's a little quiz and just a little bit more information of what they need before they actually jump into the content, which starts with the roles. And I believe this is a video. No, that's the teacher talk one. So what we tried to do was put in the information in PowerPoints that we captured in each module. And teachers really just need to read through this so that they kind of get an understanding of what the expectations are, and what the expectations for the students are, and how important communicating with the success team as well as their other teacher is. And then we do a little bit of work on who are the adult education students, because we found there were a lot of misperceptions on the CTE side of who our students were, and they incorrectly thought that they were going to have to modify their content down. And we explained to them the whole point of this is that they work at the same college level as the rest of the students. So this particular one had some tips, and it had some other information that they could use. So is there any particular module that anybody's interested in looking at? This is another one from ICSPS. This one is a document. I haven't looked at this in a while. Oh, it's a graphic that we added from ICSPS. It's a career pathway graphic. I think yeah, this is explaining our step up program that I showed you in the slide before. Okay, so the last thing is that the last module is team teaching meaning and methodologies. This one is probably one of the longer ones, and it talks about how we assess our team teachers, and this one came from the Transitions Academy website as well. This is just a document on best practices in team teaching, and then the quiz for team teaching. And when they take the team teaching quiz, what we tell them is that they need to finish all the modules and quizzes and then email me that they're done to get their certificate. If they don't email me, then we don't know that they've finished it. So we'll send them their document. And it's been very successful. I don't want to spend too much time on the people page because it has people's names on here, but we have many teachers who have signed up to take it, a couple who are still pending. And we kept this particular course very simple. There's not a lot of assignments. There's the quizzes are in both places. It doesn't have a syllabus, which maybe we'll change that. But one of the, so we did it in June, and we just realized that we need to add a module on students who may have plans from our office with students with disabilities. One of the issues we ran into was we had a student in one of the programs who had information from the Office of Students with Disabilities, but the CTE teacher did not share that with the support teacher. So the student was expecting that the support teacher was going to give her the accommodations she needed, but we didn't know about it. So we're going to have to develop a module on that too. So, all right. So if anybody has questions or more information or wants to see anything else, please let me know, because we all reach for the sun together.
Thank you, Marilyn. I want to mention, just in case you didn't see it, there is one comment. I love this idea, so thank you. Also, I really enjoyed that video that had your students' voices in it and teachers, and then Arlene, that was great. I wanted to let everybody know, because at the very beginning, Marilyn was showing some team teacher videos that were put together as part of the Accelerating Opportunity grant that was some time ago, and ICSPS and SIPDC put those together, and they've gotten a little bit older. They're still pretty good, but we are working on a update for those. So tomorrow, the last session, we're going to be spotlighting some new resources. So let me just put a shameless plug in that we will be showcasing some of the new team teacher videos that will be available on the Icaps website for everyone to use.
That's fabulous. And I'm looking forward then to updating this, which is going to be one of the benefits of having it in Canvas, is that we'll be able to easily update and modify it every year as things change. And I knew that you guys were working on some updated ones, so I'm excited that you're able to launch them. It's great.
Yes, and we did interview a couple of different programs, and CLC was one of them. So you have some of your colleagues are actually on the video, so that's nice, and other colleges as well.
Oh, so Patty asks, do you have some preliminary questions or notes to ask CTE deans and directors to help begin a new program to get them on board and part of the team? You know, our dean, Dr. Arlene Santos George, takes care of the connections with administrative level deans and associate deans. And so she is one of the ones who she will go through and explain to them what Icaps is. She has also presented to our board of trustees. And so she will help educate them as to what we're doing and how it works. The other thing is we every year, and I'm sure a lot of other programs do this, I'm not saying that we're novel in this at all, but we have a graduation. This year it was drive-through for our Icaps students. And we always invite the whole administrative team, presidents, vice presidents, deans, associate deans, and some of the department chairs for the programs that students are graduating from, so they can see what Icaps does and what an impact it makes. So, so if you want the specific questions and notes, email me and I will get them to you, or send you her PowerPoint presentation that she gives when she's introducing Icaps to other people at the college.
All right, does anybody have any additional questions for Marilyn? You can unmute or put something in the chat. We really appreciate you coming and sharing what you've created.
Yeah, and if you don't, that's great. That means that you get some extra time to yourself before the end of the day. And I'll let you call if that's the right time to do that, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else, then we are going to have our closing two sessions. Well, really closing session at 3:15. It's Introduction to Apprenticeships and Making Connections from the adult education to apprenticeships. And Lavon Nelson and Kathy Olson-Tracy will be presenting that 3:15 to 3:45, and then we'll have a quick wrap up. And we will start tomorrow morning at 8:30 with highlighting some service integration best practices in the state. And so if there's no other questions, then we will see you all at the 3:15 session. Mary Lynn, thank you once again for sharing, and thank you to everybody for attending, for learning, and for all that you're doing to help our learners. Bye, everybody.